This is East Coast DNA. I'm your host, Darcy Walsh. And today's guest, we have, what's your artist name? Nicky Decks?
Nicky Decks, yep.
All right. Thank you for joining us. You're over in Newfoundland.
St. John's.
So we don't always have an audience from over there, but we've had a few artists on over the past year, I think, a couple anyway. So I did listen to your single way back in February when you were first reaching out to us. So you're an instrumentalist, like you, for the most part, you just play solo guitar?
Yeah, for the most part. Coming up now, I have some like lyrics and singing involved as well.
Okay.
Because go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna say, is that always been the path? But you guess that you're looking at changing it up going forward a little?
Yeah, because most people like hearing songs.
Sure.
So the guitar solos are really, really fun. That's where my influences come from: Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, Jeff Beck, and Nita Strauss. But for people to listen to it, I'm gonna have some lyrics with it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm releasing Hey Girl soon, and I got another project started with a partner of mine called No Pain. So I'm playing guitar for that as well, and she's
Okay,
singing.
that's cool. And I did go through your bio there as well. So you've been playing since you were 18?
I'm playing for 18 years. So I've been
18
playing
years?
since, yeah.
Okay.
So
So I hope you're 36, so that sounds accurate, but we'll just go with that. So you've been playing for 18 years. At one point, you had traveled down Hollywood way.
yeah, and I went down to check out Musicians Institute. I was going to go down and do the schooling down there, but it's super pricey. But I ended up doing the schooling here in St. John's, actually,
Oh,
music
okay.
industry performance.
And was the interest in traveling down there originally because you're interested in music for like movies and video production, that type of thing? Or was it just a look for the States to see if there's something different down there for opportunities?
Well, a bit of both. Ideally, I'd like to be a musician full time,
Mm-hmm.
and LA would be probably the place to do it, especially in Hollywood.
Yeah, yeah.
But so maybe I might venture down there in the future. We'll see. But right now, my roots are here, and I'll go from there.
And when did you get a start then 18 years ago? Like, was that just you decided on your own to pick up guitar, or is there somebody else that got you into it at the time?
Actually, my cousin was a big fan of ACC, and I went into his room and I turned on he had a TV with a cassette thing built in.
Yeah.
So I turned it on, and it was ACC Live in Dunnington. And when I saw Angus Young, I was like, oh my God, that's what I want to do. So like, the rush that came through the music, I was like, that's my calling. So that Christmas, I asked for a guitar, got one, learned a bunch of ACT and Iron Maiden songs, and I went from there. Then I found Steve Vai and Joe Satriani. I realized that they can do that. So that's where my big influences come from.
And how did you stumble across them? I mean, those were big names at the time. Was it through like guitar magazines, which was probably popular at the time?
Guitar Magazine, yeah. A friend of mine showed me Steve Vai. She really, she really liked him. I saw the song Juice. I watched what he did. Then I got into G3, like the concerts where they had 3 or 4 guitar players play their sets. And at the
Yeah.
end of the night, they would do their big jam. So I got right into that. Nita Strauss I found through Alice Cooper,
Okay. Yeah.
and Joe Satriani from Steve Vai because they worked together quite a bit.
Yeah. That makes sense. I'm just thinking of other people that would have been getting into music 18 years ago that I would have known. And it probably would be similar artists through similar avenues because the magazine scene was the way to go for learning music stuff back in the day.
Yeah, especially for guitar tabs.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. We didn't have the internet to look up all your favorite songs and learn how to play
No,
along.
if it did, it probably took 2 hours to download the tabs, but because I
Yeah.
mean over a dial up.
So was a lot of your early days the self-taught then by having magazines like that for reference?
Yeah, I learned how to read tabs, and I went from there. I wish I learned the right way and the chords and the theory, but that came a little later. So a lot of it was self-taught, sitting down, listening to the record over and over again and trying to play it, looking up the tabs on the magazine, just learning different techniques, palm muting, the pentatonic scale, soloing, and rhythm. So I used to play along with my favorite CDs. So that's where I got
Yeah.
my rhythm from. Yeah, it's
And so now, oh, sorry, what's that?
been quite the adventure. That's for sure.
Yeah. So did you ever at any point in those 18 years play with a band, or have you just primarily been solo over the last 18 years?
Mostly solo, but I've been in a few bands.
Yeah.
Uh, I was in a band, Lavender. We won Battle of Bands there last year down at the deck here in St. John's. Um, we split ways, and I went and did my own thing. The drummer and the singer moved to Toronto, so now I
Okay.
got my own stuff on the go. And I played downtown a fair bit, but mainly right now I'm just focused on recording and releasing music on online streaming platforms.
And if anyone looks you up on Spotify, there's the new single and then one from last year as well that are there. So is there other places people look to see any past work?
There is some stuff on YouTube for college and stuff. There's some videos that I got that's not online, unfortunately, that people took of me while I was playing.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's just was on Spotify and my YouTube.
And what can you tell us about the new single? I know that your immediate promotion window has died off a little because that was a few months ago. But
Oh, it's Shakedown song?
yeah,
Shakedown song, actually, I did that one because of the RPM challenge. We had to do, I think it was 10 songs, but I ended up just doing the one single at the time. And I had this riff, actually. I remember seeing a police officer come down the road one time, and they were kind of doing, he's a bit chubby and was walking down, and I just had this riff in my mind. So ding, 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 ding. And just picture him going down being quick.
yeah,
So I added that, and then I put guitar solo right over the whole works. And whatever happened that day in the studio, it just, my guitar playing just came alive. Like, that was probably my best work that I ever recorded. So for solo wise, it's all pentatonic scale, but it's a lot of people say it's like Joe Satriani's, like Randy Rhoads. You really hear my favorite influences in it.
yeah. No, I could definitely hear them. I knew exactly who you're going to say your influences were after I listened to it. That's for sure.
Right. That's cool.
And so, as far as you're trying to experiment a little bit more with adding in some vocals, do you think that fans will hear any of that over the next few months in your live performances?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I get the band put together, so the singer and a drummer and bassers, and try to get that released, and then start playing around town and get more notice, more fans, right?
Excellent. And I did notice back over the last few months after your name came across my desk, I noticed you a few more times and some different things in social media. So you have been performing a little bit since then.
Yeah,
Is there any dates in the near future that maybe you want to mention for anyone listening to this?
I don't have anything planned right now, but there will be some dates coming up. That's for sure. Most likely be playing downtown at one of the local pubs, or even the one next to me. But work is finishing up now next couple of weeks, so there'll be lots of dates coming up summer. That's for sure.
And where should people follow you online then if they want to keep up to date to see what those dates are over the summer?
You can follow me. The best spot will be Nick Decker Music,
Okay.
or you can even add my profile, Nick Decker, and it brings with Nick Decker Music. Everything I share on Nick Decker Music, I'll share on my own Facebook. So everything's connected. Instagram, TikTok, even Snapchat. I share everything on all my social media platforms.
Perfect. So highly available and easy to find out there.
Yeah, yeah. I share a lot of stuff during the day about my music, my
And
single.
since we don't get too many artists from your area, is there any other bands maybe that or any other artists similar to yourself that you've maybe been performing with over the last few months that you might want to give a little shout out to, some different artists for people to look into?
Oh my God, yeah. So Chloe Gale
Hmm.
She's a friend of mine. I actually graduated in school with her. TJ Hogan, he's another fantastic guy. I went to school with him as well. So two of them are fantastic artists, and they're emerging. So they're starting their own
Oh,
stuff as well.
cool.
And of course, my partner Emily Gladys. So we, like I said earlier, we just started a little group called In the Rough,
Hmm.
and she sings, I play guitar, and I add in the drum tracks, the bass tracks later. But yeah, no, definitely check out Emma Gladys. She's fantastic.
Perfect. And as we end the episodes, we always end up playing out with a single. So do you want to introduce the song as we get near the end of the episode here?
Oh yeah, absolutely, sure.
And is there any other shout outs that you wanted to give to anyone?
Uh, my teacher Wade Pinhorn, he's fantastic. So he taught me everything I knew. He really believed in my music, believed in me. So I really want to give a shout out to him for believing in letting this happen. I'm only starting out, kind of thing, emerging, but I hope to get a lot bigger, and I can't wait for the ride to happen.
Yeah,
I
it would
also
be.
got,
Oh,
oh
go ahead.
sorry, I also got merchandise available.
Okay.
You can buy it on Atlantic Music Store. I got hoodies, T-shirts, mugs, coasters, tote bags, and hats.
Okay, excellent. And you're doing, is that local to your area?
Yeah, it's
The
local,
the
but
the
you can,
company?
yeah, yeah, they're here from St. John's. They're fantastic, but you can order anywhere in the world, and they'll ship. But they
And
will
do
ship
they,
definitely.
their roster for artists and stuff they cover, is it all music or is it businesses and stuff up in your area?
It's actually a bit of both. It's
Okay.
music, it's production companies, Music and L, Hurricane Music, all the artists around town. They even did it for the Iceberg Alley Festival that we had here last week, which
Oh,
Quiet Riot came for. By the way, that was fantastic. Rudy Sarzo rocks. So
yeah. Were you on that lineup as well?
no,
Or
no,
you
I
just
went down to
you were
see
attending
them.
as a
Yeah,
fan?
yeah.
Excellent. So you had a good time then.
Oh, it was fantastic. Yeah, he's a hero of mine, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's one that I see those festivals announced, and I'll look at the lineup, but then I try to put it out of my mind because it's a little far for me to travel from over here in Nova Scotia. But maybe in
Yeah.
the future I'll have to hit one of them. I
Oh,
haven't even been to George Street before, so that's definitely something I got to do at some point in time.
well, it's a great spot. It's a great
Yeah,
time. A lot of music. If you can, whatever you want to find, punk, Celtic, blues, jazz. There's all kinds of stuff here.
yeah, it's exciting to follow it, but that's why I wanted to get some shout outs in there for my own personal benefit and that of the people listening to the show. I know that there's a lot of artists up there that maybe don't have a lot of exposure in my area at this point.
Right.
So I definitely like to try to expose as many people as possible. We did have Peter Youngtree was on back in the fall, and he's actually going to be touring through as close as like 20 minutes from here this summer. So
Awesome.
it's nice to know that we have some Newfoundland exposure here. There's a few other bands that are actually coming from that area over here. So we'll have to keep an eye out for Nicky Decks to be
Oh, I
listed
am
on
for
one
sure.
of these in the future.
I'll be over. That's for sure.
And what did you say the name of the band is going to be so we can keep an eye out for that going forward?
It'll be under Nicky Decks.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
Awesome. So if you'd like to give fans a little intro to your song here, we'll include some of these links down in the bottom of the description.
Yeah. Interest in my song. All right. It's a feisty song, and it's really fun. Lots of energy, lots of attitudes, kind of saucy in the guitar playing, but it's flashy, and I really hope you enjoy it. Check
Excellent.
it out.
Thank you very much. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on those social media accounts to see what you have coming out over the next few months. It sounds like you're going to have some time freed up for it over the summer. So hopefully we see some live performances happening as well.
For sure. Thank you for this great opportunity.
Thank you.